You will call the roll.
Okay, Chairman Morris Baker,
Here.
Lena Wisco is not present. Blake Ayler. Troy Everett.
Here.
Chase Milner. Amber Torbett.
Here.
And let's see. John Gibson is the new Mount Carmel mayor. He is online, but not here in person. So just wanted to make you all aware he is online. Can't vote online, but he is tuning in to see what's going on. So we're missing Lena Wisco, which Jimmy gave Michael his proxy to vote. So we do have 6 members present out of the 7.
We have a quorum then, right?
Yes.
All right, this time I'll open up public comment period. Anybody wishing to make a comment pertaining to any item on the agenda or any transportation planning issue, activity, and or projects that pertain to the Kingsport MTPO can do so at this time. And I'll just remind you, have a 5-minute limit. Anybody like to speak? Public comment period. If not, we'll close the public comment period. Move on to item 3, approval of minutes from the November 14th, 2024 meeting. Everybody had an opportunity to read over the minutes. So can I get a motion accepting? So moved. Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion or corrections need to be made? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right, next is the election of the executive board vice chair, and I'll pass this to Leslie.
Okay, you all
Start
know
off.
every year we elect the vice chair. I talked to Jimmy before this meeting. He will be coming off of the board and Thomas will be replacing him. So we did discuss that this morning. So chairman remains static, does not have to get elected, but the vice chair is elected every year. So if Morris, if you want to open it up for nominations.
All right, I'll take nominations this time for the executive board vice chair. I can tell you it's a high level job, so a lot of perks that come with it. No, I'm joking. Casey?
And mute.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is that an official nomination, Troy?
I'm gonna ask him first.
Okay.
What do you think, Jay?
Well, I was about to pass it over to Blake if
Nope.
at all interested.
I would love to do it. However, at VDOT, we sort of have a policy that we don't, we're not allowed to serve in that capacity, chair or vice chair at VDOT. If, with Thomas being new to it, I don't know if he's on the call. I don't know if it's something, he's not on here. Is Jimmy on the call?
He is not, but
Is he
Jimmy did say Thomas was aware if he
So
wanted to take that position over
Thomas
as
had
well.
said if there wasn't anybody else that was looking for it, with him coming on new to it, he'd be more than happy to do it. But he's not on here today and I've not officially spoken to Thomas about it. I think Jimmy spoke to him, but up to,
And Jimmy's not here, right?
No.
Okay.
We'll do it again next year.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to Chase.
I'll second.
Second, any discussion on that? Chase, will you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other nominations? All right, if not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Chase.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll move to the PM targets, performance targets for Tennessee and Virginia. Leslie?
Okay, let me get down here to them. Will you see Rhonda saying she don't have audio?
You all should have that in your packet. Right, Leslie?
Yes. Trying to make sure they've got audio on the call, because somebody said they didn't.
Attachment A, or it's listed as attachment A in my
Now
packet.
she has audio, no visual.
Everybody got a copy of it?
Not sharing the screen today.
Okay.
Too many things.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
Oh, that's for my camera, but I wasn't sharing my screen on Zoom. I was only sharing it on Solstice. So too many things to keep up with.
You do a good job though, Leslie.
Okay, so now is it? Okay. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I have my notes and I still miss stuff. Okay, so this is another task that we do every year. The PM1 targets are usually due by the end of February. These are the safety targets, number of fatalities, fatality rate, number of serious injuries, serious injury rate, and the number of non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries. As you all know, we just adopt the state targets. We do have the option to set our own, but the state's targets are shown on attachment A. Those are the Tennessee state targets. And as you all are aware, Virginia does their stuff differently, so they actually set a percentage goal. And then that translates to a specific numerical target just for our MPO area. So that's why the numbers look so different between Tennessee and Virginia. Tennessee's is statewide numbers. Virginia is specifically for our MPO area. So we just recommend adopting the state's targets as presented again this year.
Does everybody understand? All right, I'll take a motion and a second, and then we'll see if there's any discussion.
Motion approved.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Discussion?
Blake, or either one of you. Is this your planning area or your urbanized area? Or your new one?
I think it's planning.
Should be the planning.
That's what I
boundary, is
thought. I
what It
was just-
should be,
Okay.
'cause it should apply to the entire planning boundary.
Is that three counties and Norton?
To know, this will just be Gate City, Weber City, and just a very little bit of Scott County.
Okay,
It ends just outside.
it's not the
of Gate City.
Lunawisco area.
It is not
Partially.
the entire
Yeah, yeah.
Lunawisco, just a part of
It
it.
includes it, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right,
So the numbers on the Tennessee side look to be the same as what we looked at this morning at Bristol.
Right.
Then, because the planning area for Virginia portion is considerably smaller than Bristol's, that's why you have NA.
Oh, that's because we're not adopting our own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's if we're adopting our own
Okay.
percentage change.
Okay.
We're just adopting the statewide.
and we don't have
And
the
then the numbers are on
resources.
the next page.
Oh, the numbers, okay, because ours were like 4 and,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
We don't have the
Still
resources to
less.
dive into specific for us. That's why we adopt the state.
Correct. And I have all that methodology if anybody's willing to read it.
Resources are getting better. Knoxville just did theirs, but they have a big safety plan. They've done a lot of heavy lifting for that whole area. Yeah, most of us, I think all the small MPOs.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, if not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
okay.
Any opposed? All right, we'll go on to item 6, PM2 and PM3 targets for Tennessee and Virginia. Leslie?
Okay, so the PM2 targets is the concrete and bridge conditions. PM3 is the system performance. These are set every 4 years, but at the midpoint, the states have the option to adjust their targets. So these are actually the adjusted targets. So TDOT did not adjust any of the PM2 measures, but they did adjust the PM3 measures. Virginia did not adopt or did not adjust any measures, but I went ahead and included the original ones that were adopted a couple of years ago. Just, just to reiterate that we are supporting those targets. So they are both included with the note that Virginia didn't adjust their targets. But again, we just recommend adopting the state's targets.
All right. I could get a motion and a second. Call for discussion then.
So moved.
All right. Second.
Second.
All right. Anybody have any questions or comments? I will ask, and I'm just a novice as far as on transportation. Am I hearing that there's more bridge work being done, not just in our area, but just like in the region? Is that fair or no?
Well, go ahead for the Virginia stuff.
I'll say there was a substantial amount of bridge funding that went to each state with the IIJA bill.
Okay.
In Virginia, they took that additional allotment of money and they spent it on a couple of structures that were extremely significant structures that were very costly. One of them was Piedmont Bridge in downtown Bristol. And so that's where kind of that overage of money went to in Virginia. And I know we treat it just a little bit differently. I will say along the interstate, we've been concentrating a lot on our bridge projects on the interstate as well. So you'll see a lot of that right now. But I know the bridges as a whole throughout the country, I think it's now becoming time where we're gonna have to go back and touch almost all of them if they're not been newly constructed. So that shelf life of about 50 years on all of them is starting to come due at the same time.
Yeah.
Now that the interstate system's 50 to 70 years old,
Yeah.
it's there.
How about in Tennessee? What did we do with our money?
Very similar to what he was saying about the IIJA, but we've got we'll have a video here at the end. They'll talk a little bit more about it. The bridges, but our bridge program, much more robust. Kind of started with the several years ago, had 960 projects. It was well over half of those bridges.
Wow.
We do have a very robust bridge program that we're pushing through.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments about item 6 before we vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we'll move on to item 7. 23-26 tip amendment number 4. Leslie, I'll turn to you again.
Okay, so the Island Road project was originally a total rebuild. Early estimates were putting it at 3.5 million, but more recent estimates are putting it way higher. And because of the cost and just the escalation of the cost and everything going on, and the MPO is basically out of money for right now. The Public Works Department got approval from TDOT to reduce the scope just to resurfacing because something needs to be done to that road. So to resurface it instead of total rebuild. So we had 700,000 set aside for right of way, which probably wouldn't have covered the right of way anyway in the prior scope. So moved it to construction and added a couple $100,000 to bring the construction up to 900,000. I think it's through the NEPA. Michael, do you want to say anything about that project? I think it's through the NEPA phase.
It is, and we've gotten approval to not drop back to because the project limits are not changing. It's scope of work, so be able to stay within that and re-scope in the design phase.
How much was the original project again? You said the bid was $3.5 million.
Well, 3.5, but that was from 2018, probably 2018,
What was the
2019.
estimate that it went up to?
I can't remember.
3.5 million, 5-6 million.
About double.
What was it?
Wow, about double that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of that's inflation, but you do have to realize that that number was before we went into NEPA. And there's, you know, that's the old stage road. There's a lot of history there, and there was some uncommonalities on that as we got in the project escalated it as well. If that makes sense.
And that one required another archaeological survey or study or something
There
too,
was
so.
an extra.
So just curious, with what happened with the disaster, I know this is kind of off, but talking about cost increase. Do we anticipate pavement costs to go up in the region with the demand being there? Like what's been planned over the next few years?
The biggest thing I see is stone
Okay.
availability. I mean, it's like every quarry around here is hauling as hard as they can and fast. So it would surprise me if stone prices didn't keep going up. I do expect it to go up now. I think it'll be a blip, you know, and because I feel like everybody's trying to spend money as fast as they can so they can be reimbursed by FHWA. I think the original was a 6-month is basically you could get 80% of your money back that was spent in that first 6 months for infrastructure improvements. Now, more y'all may have more information speak to it on the DOT side.
I was in Nashville earlier in the week and we had conversation about the governor's proposal that looks like there's going to be more transportation dollars made available. Is that what y'all understand? No, that may change, but it almost sounded like if we had ready projects, some more money may be available for those non-disaster related.
Yeah, we're gonna hit some of that in our update.
Okay, all right, good deal.
One thing about the rock quarry, we're having the same problem. Of course, when 26 was closed. Nobody.
Be great if other quarries could open up in the region, sounds like.
Well, I mean, they were open. We just bought everything.
I'm just, you know, if the man's there. I'll leave that there. We get a motion second on item number 7.
I'll motion to approve.
All right.
Tip amendment.
Is there a second?
For the PM2?
Yep.
Motion.
That was the tip.
The tip amendment, number 4.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Any other discussion? Comments? All those in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? All right, move to item 8, Leslie, for the federal and state partner updates and project updates.
Okay, I have a few things to touch on before we go into all that. So, Our August meeting date will have to be changed because it's scheduled for August 14th and the MTPO conference has been scheduled for that week. What was said at Bristol this morning about August 7th, did it work?
Yep.
So
Okay.
we'll move it the week before. That way we'll have our meeting over with before we have the conference. Don't have to worry about it.
What's the date again?
August 7th, and we'll do 2 o'clock because this room is booked until like 1:30. So I need to make time to get in here but I'll send out a reminder to you. So August 7th, 2 o'clock instead of August 14th. We'll still have the May meeting, obviously. Our adjusted urban area was adopted at the February 2024 meeting. The metropolitan planning area update will be presented at the May meeting for adoption, for consideration and adoption. It's not much different than we presented at the November meeting. We did meet with Bristol and went through make sure there was no gaps and make sure that the roads were either in or out of one or the other. And of course, we've been meeting with Johnson City because we all kind of meet there in the middle. We will have a new UPWP, of course, VDOT we do every year. So the fiscal year 26 UPWP will be presented at the May meeting. I talked to Jimmy about that this morning, so we'll try to get together probably in the next week or so and just sit down and talk about it and see if we need to make any major changes or, the money in different places or whatever. And then, of course, the TDOT will be for fiscal year 26 and 27, and it will be presented at the August meeting. The draft's due to TDOT by April 4th, I believe. And then we'll have a new tip probably around the end of this calendar year or early 2026. So that'll be the 26 through 29 tip. And then we'll start on our 2050 long range plan. It's due in May of 27. So we'll begin the procurement process soon to get the consultant on board to get that started. And I've been working on the city budget and I added more money in the consultant, the 2020 line item to start covering part of that cost. And let's see. So let's go ahead and do transit agencies. I'll let Tim Land with CATS start.
Thank you, Leslie. It's nice to be here today. Usually it's Candace Shearer is the one giving the transit updates, but she's out of town, so she's asked me to give the transit update. So first of all, CATS put 5 new vans into service recently. They're Dodge Ram ProMasters. These ProMasters are bigger than our traditional Dollaride 88 vans, but smaller than our cutaway buses used for the fixed route. Very versatile. We've used them on one of our fixed routes, one of our lesser performing fixed routes, and we haven't had really any major issues there. We've of course we've used them on for 88 trips on Dollaride, and we've also used them on our new service called CATS Connect. This month saw the soft launch of our new on-demand transit service called CATS Connect. Best way to describe CATS Connect is it's similar to how an Uber ride works. You register an account with us and you can begin booking trips as soon as same day. Just as with the $88 ride service, CATS Connect can only provide trips within the city of Kingsport, and fare for this service is a flat $3 each way. To promote ridership on CATS Connect and for the convenience of our customers, CATS has introduced the ability to self-book trips on a mobile app. The app's name is called Mobility by Ecolane, and it can be found on the App Store and Google Play. Those who cannot use or do not want to use the app can always call us to set up an account and book trips. So having the app to use with CATS Connect is not a prerequisite, it is just a bonus. And finally, coinciding with the launch of CATS Connect, we eliminated the traditional zone fare structure of our existing Dollaride 88 van service by eliminating the $4 and $5 zones and made the entire city of Kingsport one single zone that is $2 each way for 88 customers and $3 each way for Dollaride 65 and Job Assist customers. Those $4 and $5 zones, think of those as the kind of like along the perimeter, like by the airport and Cracker Barrel and Bays Mountain. So we eliminated that, and so now you can travel anywhere in Kingsport and you go to Cracker Barrel for $2. You know, that's a great deal. And so far as the future is concerned, in the near future, look for this year for there to be some type of restructuring of the fixed routes for them to be more efficient. That was the only area of CATS in which I did not touch upon. So we're going to probably hold off on restructuring the fixed route just a little bit longer and see how well this CATS Connect takes off. So far, you know, we started this on February 3rd, and so far we've heard good things from the customers and from our employees. So it appears to be starting off in a positive manner. And as far as ridership numbers are concerned, in January, We had 7,095. This was 228 more than December. And this time last year, January 24, we were at 6,142. So a year can make a difference there. We've taken almost 1,000 more trips in January of 25. And of course, as always, you can find this information and all of our information regarding cats at www.kingsporttransit.org. And that's the way it was at Cats on February 13th. Back to you, Leslie.
It needs to be HBR radio. That's right. That's all.
Yeah, for real. Transportation Daily with Tim.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Tim, I got one question for you on that, just because I live here in town.
Yeah.
The,
Doesn't have a good voice.
or using that app, what's any idea what like the time is for them to get picked up and move around, that sort of thing?
That is all.
People online can.
Of course, that is all based on availability, of course. But you can, you or anyone who has created an account can book a trip no sooner than 60 minutes. So it has to be at least 60 minutes from the present time.
Okay.
And no further out than 14 days. So you have basically a 2-week window in which you can look on the calendar and plan your trips accordingly.
What kind of vehicle?
Currently, we're running the Dodge Ram ProMasters, but occasionally it is possible that you could get picked up using one of our current Ford vans that are used on ADA, because we can use both services for either vehicle.
Okay, and if someone wanted to use this and they like needed a wheelchair or something like that, should they request that or
They request that, and that's also an option on the app. There's a tick box where you select your mobility aid, if any. And then, of course, our vans are equipped with the proper protocol to accommodate those passengers as well.
So that's actually door to door, or is it out in the street or?
I would consider this more curb to curb rather than door to door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, airport service?
Well, if the airport itself falls within Kingsport, then that technically that should go. But if it doesn't,
Right now.
it's, only in Kingsport city limits. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We'll call that segment Right on Land with Tim. How's that?
That's good.
Okay.
Tim,
other Tim
what's
that
the time
transported-
period that you can request from when to when during the day?
It was up, well, of course, it's weekdays during our operational hours, 7:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
It's based on availability, but no one can schedule sooner than 60 minutes. So it has to be at least 1 hour away from the present time.
Thanks.
To 14 days.
Okay.
I don't have a ton of stuff to cover right now. We're currently I'm in my first training review, so in the weeds on that, trying to sift through all that. So that's where the primary focus has been for the past couple of weeks. Hopefully we get through without any findings. But as far as that, that's about what we've got going on right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you let Mitch talk?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. To go along with the new system in Kingsport, of course, we established that a couple of years ago, the micro transit portion in parts of Southwest Virginia in the Norton Wise area. In the last quarter, the first 18 months of service, we transported 168,124 people. And we have nearly 3,000 active riders that are participate in the program now, and we've been able to meet 91% of the demand rate, and so it's been a godsend for us. I think it may very well be, and I'm sure Cats will in a few months they'll be able to say the same thing. I believe that's the future of transportation in small urban and rural areas. We continue to we started a new service into the Big Stone, Appalachia area in June of this year, and we have plans to go to Jonesville and Jonesville and Pennington Gap the following year, and then create a link to link all them together along with Cats in Kingsport. So that's what we've been working on. this year. But this year it has been a godsend for us, and we continue to believe that it will be the future of rural and small urban transportation. And
Thank you.
that's all I have.
Thanks. Okay, I don't think anybody federal is on. No. VDOT, you got anything?
Yes, it's just two things. The first one, I-81, the improvement plan that we passed about 5 years ago is nearing time to be updated. So we just began that process. It started about 2 weeks ago, and so we have a kickoff next week with our consultant team to get deeper into the weeds on the data that's been presented to us. So keep up with that. I'll make sure to keep TDOT up to speed with it as well. But we'll have public meetings that we'll do same thing we did last time. We'll invite both MPOs out to it. So looking forward to it. Anything you can think of along the corridor, shoot it my way. We'll see what we can do if it matches the data, but we're going to be starting that process 1 year. We're hopeful by December, January of next year to be done with it. And then we'll see what happens from that point forward. As I told Bristol this morning, we kind of been blessed in the Bristol district. All the projects that were allocated in the first round of the study and funding, we have either constructed or currently have them under construction. And so now we're just hopeful this next round produces us some more projects get underway. I know it's a lot if you drive the whole corridor to Washington, D.C. right now with the construction that's going on, but I do anticipate that to continue for the next foreseeable future. But it's all good improvements.
Was there a fee or a tax or something just on the counties that touched 81? Is that how y'all funded that?
So yes,
Okay.
and it ended up going to the regions, I think, as a whole. And so I think all 12 counties within our district technically pay into that to fund 81. But on top of that, part of the casino coming to the city of Bristol, Virginia, all 12 counties within our district get money from the casino.
Oh,
And they can spend that towards schools, roads, or there's a third category. I've not seen anybody use that one yet. So, but yes, the I-81 was
that corridor.
was that corridor that paid for it. Yep. The other part I will say, I said this at Bristol's MPO meeting. So as we all know, with the federal government right now, it's trial by fire. And so every hour something changes. So as we were sitting in the meeting, I got this email and I'll read you the first paragraph, which was a shock, I think, to all of us. And I may have gave TDOT a heart attack. This is from our federal programs manager in central office. Good afternoon. VDOT has been advised that FHWA will not take any approval action on STIP amendments at this time. VDOT will continue to submit STIP amendments to FHWA, but FHWA is now required to forward all amendments to the Office of General Counsel for review. There have been no communications about the additional time it will take for the OGC to complete their review. The stewardship and oversight agreement that we currently have specifically requires a set timeline for them to get that back to us. Currently, we're projecting that they will obviously not adhere to any of those timelines that we have been contractually agreed to with the federal government. So keep that in mind if you're looking at amendments and as we go forward on a larger scale. We obviously don't know how this will impact us or what it will do, but this is pretty shocking. I'll say. I don't have further guidance. I have talked to the office after this. They confirmed it did officially come from FHWA, and that was exactly what we were told on our most recent amendment, is that wait and see sort of, we're going through it. One thing they did tell me that's a suspicion that FHWA, I think Virginia told them maybe that I think they're looking if any of those projects within the STIP amendment could potentially be tied to DEI, environmental justice, and a slew of the hot topic words that are being thrown out right now. As we're all aware, maybe not specifically DEI, but environmental justice touches every project we have. So keep that in mind. I don't know how that impacts a TIP amendment. I have no clue. I haven't heard how that works. Originally, we were told to just keep submitting everything as is, see how it goes. Because there were questions, I'll say 2 weeks ago, as to whether PL and SPR money would be invoiced, would be even paid back. So
Do you look at the DBE requirement as part of DEI?
We don't know how they're gonna look at it. So that was our question. We've all talked about DBEs required on everything.
Once you get, what is it, 500,000 or something, you have to have a goal.
Required. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's on everything we do from studies. Any planning study we do also has to meet a DBE goal as well. And so it,
Don't really know how, if and how it affects MPOs, because you said stiff, not
which is
tip.
state. Yeah, so I don't know how it impacts the actual tips themselves. And I don't know if they'll go as deep as to look at the MPOs throughout the country and see what policies they may have. But it's sort of a wait and see time, as I've told everybody, we'll just see. This seems like one that probably will fix itself again here in a couple of days when all the states start to flip out. So we'll see, but I just wanted to pass it along. That's all I got.
And TDOT's not got any of that information yet.
No,
Heard it in Bristol? Heard it in Bristol?
No, you need to obligate the check.
We're gonna keep doing everything we do when it gets there.
If are part of the SIP, so don't think that is, it's just SIP. Your tip amendments. Couldn't.
And I heard the word amendment, not adjustment.
Correct. As far as we know, it's said amendment.
Because Federal Highway does not sign off on a modification anyway. They like review them quarterly, but they don't have to approve them.
That tip amendment.
I'm still waiting on local programs concurrence that I sent like 3 weeks ago and emailed them again earlier this week. So I'll be emailing again, I guess. And I need this now. BRPT is on, but I asked if he had any updates in the chat, and the Tri-City Airport is on because I don't think Chris is here today. Okay, so we can go on to TDOT.
All right, I've got some project updates as y'all have asked for, and then Leslie's got a video that we'll show here at the end. Hammond Bridge, y'all specifically asked about that one. That is State Route 36 going across in front of the dam. Hammond Bridge is the concrete bridge on the right side is the arches. Currently, that remains outside of the 3 project plans, not being developed. We were working on some stuff. Paused. State Route 1 over the North Fork of the Holston River. That's with our Jason Schultz. That one is being developed. I'll get some more information. I have a lot of detail with that one right now, Jason. Resurfacing. 11W State Route 1 from Garland to Sullivan County line. Will be going on in 2025. Then we're doing Interstate 81 from the Washington County line to the I-26 interchange.
Where is that, Troy, on 11W?
11W, I'm sorry. Garland Road, Hawkins County.
Garland's in Churchill,
Yeah, okay.
all the way to Sullivan County.
Yeah, okay. I know where that is.
What'd you say about 81?
81 is gonna be from Washington County line down around 52-ish up to the interchange.
The Washington Green County line or the Washington Sullivan County line?
Yes, I think it's Green County officially. Line,
To the I-26 interchange?
correct. That's 26. Of course, all our resurfacing stuff, it's all our 3-year resurfacing plans online. One thing Randy did tell me about that is we roll out, we're now putting out 3-year plans for safety, bridges, and resurfacing. They're all going to come out about the same time because resurfacing was held back. The other two. So if we have a safety project, well, if we have any of those, I don't think we do this area today, right now, but if we did, it would be on that. And something else here. Fort Robinson, I believe that's in you this evening. Fort Robinson, it's in right away. We're purchasing right away. Off System Bridge construction will be 2029. So probably 2030.
So that
Late
changed
2029.
since last meeting. Last
that
meeting, it was
was-
like 27 or something was the, Fort Robinson Bridge.
Proposed lighting was pushed out. We've got a few new things coming in that we'll talk about in a little bit, so that the moving target right
Think 2029.
now. Fiscal 29 letting right now. But we are we are buying right away right now. According to Jeremy Medford. Contact on that. You have the contact.
On State Route 90, y'all are getting close to done with the bridge over the river.
Right.
Correct in that y'all have been holding another bridge project. Of course, when that one's done, the railroad bridge just up the hill is gonna start.
Yeah. That, and
And
that's
that's
what
why
we
we
talked
need
about
to
last time.
add that one to our list here. Just the way we got it written, that could be either one of them, but,
Right.
Okay.
The one just to the north, right
Yes.
there at that. Yes, our traffic, our lovely traffic in the afternoon there will be like that for a while, because we get the big bridges over the river done, gonna come. Which it's a much smaller bridge.
What about State Route 93 by Horse Creek?
I haven't heard anything new on that one. I saw the update. I can get you that update for sure. 3-year plan wise, but
Is there any way to get the plans on that? Because we have an adjacent project.
Oh,
Where Clomer really need
okay.
to cross-reference.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get you some right of way plans on that.
Thank you.
Or any,
It would be at Derby Drive and 93.
yeah, that's a big area.
The State Route 36 resurfacing and Colonial Heights sidewalks. Anything on it?
I didn't. 36 resurfacing. We are finalizing right away right now from CSX before we can let the project. That's the current status on that. I don't have a timeline in this update from that. This is from Jeremy as well.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought that didn't make the 10-year plan.
This is just resurfacing.
It's just,
Okay, because you have sidewalks in there. Got
Yeah, yeah.
excited.
That's a multimodal access grant.
Yeah.
It's right there, just
Okay.
in the main part of Colonial Heights.
Okay, in the city.
you are correct on the other part where the extension of 36 down to 75 is not. But Matt's gonna tell us all about how we can help partner with.
And then 126 construction.
Yep. 26 construction, the city section. We're gonna say
0.03
up
East
the-
Center Street to Briarwood.
Right. That,
So I thought it was supposed to be let pretty soon.
it is, tell you what, let me dig on that one just for a second so I can have it out for you. But we'll go on to Matt's and I'll circle back. Is that the last one? Update from me?
Unless Michael needs anything else.
I think I'm good. That's the SIA.
Access?
Oh, what is it?
No, that's the relocated Jared Drive.
What'd you say the date was on that, Troy?
On the Jared Drive one?
Yeah.
I can tell you, we have finalized alignment approved. Working on design, including structures, hydraulics, geotech. Supposed to have geotech report March 15th. Expect to have functional design plans for approval August.
Money's not there yet to do it.
It is.
All of it?
Oh, yeah, what's funded for, we're ready for it.
Through this new process that, what's it called? That was new process called?
IPD.
PDN, Project Delivery Network. They're being very cautious about. Budget was set up front and the project was scoped to meet the budget. So money's there through a combination of SIA and general fund, general TMA. And so it's all there. It's just the process working through, you know, but specifically, it's a new road from Riverport Road about just west of where Horse Creek comes into Riverport Road, follows Horse Creek all the way over past the fire training ground and ties in at the roundabout at can't remember the name of the road. The new road we built there behind the YMCA. Yeah.
Meadow Park or Park Meadow or
Lane or Park Meadow Place, one of the two. They intersected that. Yeah.
Entertainment. So, as Troy alluded to, the governor had his State of the State address on Monday, and part of that was to introduce proposals to his fiscal 26 budget. There are some areas of his budget that have a direct relation to TDOT and some of the things that we do. So our community relations folks put together about a 4-minute video that lays out as best we can what the proposals are and how they're supposed to be beneficial. They do come at you. I did this in Bristol earlier today. They come at you kind of quick. There's 3 separate proposals that are in this video. So we'll try to identify when the first one stops and the next one kicks in so it doesn't become confusing as it goes along. It's again about 4 minutes. So without further ado, Leslie.
We live in an extraordinary state with so much to offer, but something is cutting up. Steady growth, flat revenue, aging assets, and increased inflation all create a sum that's just too large for TDOT to tackle alone. To give you a high-level view of our state transportation revenue, it only increases by 0.5 percentage point annually, while inflation on the materials we use, such as asphalt, steel, concrete, and guardrail, have seen double-digit increases. The Transportation Modernization Act and the recent $3 billion general fund transfer were crucial first steps in addressing this issue. And in this year's budget, the governor recommends an additional $80 million reoccurring dollars and a $1 billion one-time transfer from the state general fund.
Safe, reliable roads is primary responsibility of state government, but there are limited funds to fulfill an unlimited need. So 2 years ago, we began addressing this complex problem, and we will not stop there.
These funds will advance crucial maintenance activities, such as pavement resurfacing to aid in preventing potholes, permit additional mowing and litter cycles to increase safety.
We got a vehicle that any go over.
Yeah, we'll be in service that way.
And expand our health truck program to include rural interstates to better respond to and hopefully decrease higher speed crashes outside our existing health truck coverage zones. These funds will also be used for critical bridge repair projects to prolong the life of crossings for Tennesseans, with 50% of our state's bridges being over 50 years old. Finally, we propose to use the vast majority of that funding to expedite current 10-year plan projects, add crucial projects to that 10-year plan, and further the department's ability to leverage additional funds from federal and local sources to build as much as we can. Even with this investment, it's still not enough to cover the nearly $30 billion needed for projects statewide. So TDOT has come up with an innovative idea for your community to leverage additional funding to help get projects done faster. Enter the local option proposal. Current law allows certain local governments, 11 counties, and 5 cities to collect surcharges to raise revenue for public transit, but only if voters approve it as a ballot. The local option proposal seeks to expand that same concept to include all cities and counties across the state, giving you for options to support local infrastructure projects like roads, highways, and bridges, in addition to transit. Another tool in the toolbox that GDOT hopes to revitalize is the State Infrastructure Fund Loan Program. This gives communities the ability to access low-interest loans, to speed up construction, and reduce the backlog of local infrastructure needs, providing additional leveraging opportunities for communities to partner with TDOT. Our transportation system is still at a critical juncture, and the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. We need fresh, creative ideas to get us back on track, and we can't do it alone. We need your support to make this happen. Together, we can build a stronger, more connected future. Having the ability to bring more money to the table can accelerate projects and get improvements completed faster. The goal is simple. Every one of Tennessee's counties and cities deserves the option to prioritize safety, economic growth, and connectivity, leading to a better quality of life, which is why we're asking you to build with us.
Okay, so again, that is a proposed budget. None of this is happening until the legislature votes on whether or not this will be reality. So just stay tuned on that. If you want more information, there's a subsection of our website. Us, if you just build with us, be able to see that video and some other more specific details on some of the things that are part of those three proposals that were in there. I guess a couple other things to talk about are the Protect Discretionary Grant that it was currently out on the street. Applications has been paused due to some of the administrative checks that they are looking at. So that currently is no longer out on the street, on pause. Another thing that got put on pause recently was the electric vehicle infrastructure station. They actually rescinded the guidance documents, which automatically pauses any ability to fund a program, because without guidance, you can't fund the program. So that was their opportunity to kind of stop that stuff. So those two things have been paused.
Does that include the round 2 announcement?
Everything that'd be at the hiatus.
And so the Tennessee version as well.
All the entire country.
But I'm saying Nevy is paused, but y'all's local Tennessee version of it.
We can't,
paused
yeah,
as well.
Nevy was Nevy.
Okay, that was y'all's implementation of Nevy.
Correct. Yeah, it was our plan to utilize the $88 million that we received. And I don't know how much you all got out of that.
I don't recall, it was a significant amount,
Yeah.
and we've paused all of our activities.
So we were in the process of getting on a contract, so none of the stations had been put down yet. Until further. I think that is it. You got it.
Local projects, Michael?
The Greenbelt West End project is in design. We received comments and resubmitted, so hopefully we'll be have right-of-way plan approval this summer. Brickyard is the Brickyard Head Bridge is just behind that, with us hoping to have design approval for going into right-of-way phase this fall. Main Street is almost there. We're almost built. Literally, we're within probably less than 2 months, contractually till May, to have final pavement and everything down. Utilities, we're still having utility issues with primarily one utility not being responsive. So the actual wood poles coming down will drag out a little bit longer, but we're almost done with that one. Island Road we spoke about. Group 1, the resurfacing is substantially complete. All the paving is done. Got final thermo and guardrail work to do there, so we probably go ahead and take that on. I believe Group 2 is expected to be 2027, and Group 3 is looking 2029. Questions on any of those?
I got your answers.
Oh, yeah.
So our region listening sent me a life preserver. Tracy sent me the answers here that you all were looking for. 126 is advertising by 18. Letting hopefully open. All dates. And as far as Derby Drive, I'm at the email drive.
Thank you.
Because that project, they just had a pre-con on it a couple weeks ago and they're getting ready to start moving.
Well, we haven't signed our floodplain permit yet because we need to know.
Gotcha.
It?
Yep.
Asking board members to have anything additional.
I'd like to just add that the First Tennessee RPO has a request for qualifications prepared for a Hawkins County Transportation Plan. So we're hoping to get that project started within next 2 months. So we've submitted it to the TDOT Office of Community Transportation for their input as well. But we've been meeting with Mayor DeWitt and also with Superintendent Danny Jones on that. So just want to point that out.
Thanks, Chase.
Will you need the updated planning area for your all's final, like what portion of Hawkins County that will cover?
Yes, that would be
Because
helpful.
our urban area shrunk so much, we're pulling back quite a bit down there around Volunteer and Orangeville. So,
Yeah, any updated.
so we'll probably vote on that in May. So
Okay,
before it gets going, then you should have it.
great.
Anything additional? All right, if not, thanks everybody for coming and we'll stand adjourned.
Yeah.